This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, usually at this point on a Sunday, you see me holding a guitar and saying, I've just been putting this guitar through its paces, and then go on to play a piece of music with it. Well, similar video to that today, although it's not a guitar we're talking about here. It is my latest toy, the Positive Grid Spark. Like I've said a few times now, I was very sceptical about these amps when they first came out. I didn't think they could possibly live up to the hype, and just basically thought, no, not for me. And then curiosity, let's say, got the better of me, and I got one, and it turned up dead on arrival. Nonetheless, a replacement was forthcoming, and you saw me giving my first impressions of it on Thursday. And whilst it wasn't 100% positive, there were a couple of things that made me think, yeah, that hasn't been thought through properly, has it? Overall, I was very impressed, especially with the core amp tones. You can have all of the bells and whistles and reverbs and choruses and backward flanges and all manner of stuff that you want, but if those core amp tones aren't up to scratch, then basically you're on a hiding to nothing. I'm very pleased to report that, you know, the core tones that this amp produces, the actual amp models, are very, well to my ears, satisfactory indeed. So I thought I'd have a little go at recording a track using them. Here it is. And as always, there is a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing the solo and a jam track to play along with for yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month, and you get access to all of these bits and pieces that go along with these YouTube videos. A massive, heartfelt thank you to everybody who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are linked down below. So yes, I recorded that piece of music just using the core amp tones from the Positive Grid Spark. I didn't use any of the onboard effects for two reasons, really. One, If there is a way of recording those effects in stereo, I'm not entirely sure that they are stereo effects, to be honest, but if there is a way of recording them in stereo, I have yet to find it. And just a little bit of snouting around the internet, various message boards and what have you, the general consensus I'm picking up is that the effects are just mono, which is one of the things that made me think, yeah, why would you make a stereo amp with mono effects? Because when you play back music through the amp, it is in stereo. And the other main reason is that when I record, I tend to like just to have the core amp tone there, and any reverbs, delays, choruses and so on, I add afterwards. There was a little bit of delay on most of the guitar parts there, just to give it a bit of stereo spread. A tiny amount of room reverb, and on the clean chord parts I was using a bit of stereo chorus just to give it a bit of breadth, but the actual core amp tones themselves are 100% from the Positive Grid Spark. No additional compression, no EQ, nothing. What you heard are the basically the amp models that you saw on screen there. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed with the sounds, you know. I do like Positive Grid Bias Amp 2. I use that all the time as my go-to amp sim for recording, and there was a little bit of trepidation when I was first trying out the Spark, because another piece of Positive Grid software that I tried was the Bias Effects 2. And I didn't like that at all, to be honest. I didn't think the core amp sounds in that were a patch on the amp sounds in Bias Amp. But, you know, well, as you heard there, I'm very, very happy to report that the amp tones in the Spark are pretty good, it has to be said. Yeah, so it's a great little amp. I've been using it for, you know, just kind of in lessons as a desktop amp for a little while now. And even just coming down this microphone here, many people are saying, your guitar sound has got a lot better, because before that I was using the, the Yamaha THR5, which has now gone on its way to its new owner. So, yeah, I think on balance, I think trading the THR5 for the Spark is, you know, a definite upgrade, and I'm very happy with me purchase. A lot of people, you know, kind of a question that they have about the Spark is, could you gig with it? Well, the answer to that is yes and no. Would I take the Spark to, the Dog and Trumpet on a Friday night to play Ace of Spades and other such songs in front of an audience full of rowdy bikers with a live drummer? Probably not. But then again, you see, when I used to do lots of various different types of gigs back in the 90s, I remember certain gigs where I was really struggling with my 2B12 100-watt Marshall valve combo. Quite often you would have to play what we used to call lounge gigs, where, you know, you're not quite sort of living room volume, but you are having to keep the volume down because it's, let's say an elderly audience that you're playing to, and, you know, they don't like it too loud. And in those kind of situations, just having the volume barely on one on my fire-breathing Marshall Monster used to basically be too loud already. So, often kind of edging on being too loud. So for that kind of gig, the Spark would be perfect. You know, it punches out a fair amount of volume. I doubt it would compete with a live drummer, but if you're doing kind of pub and lounge type gigs, you know, quieter kind of gigs with backing tracks, then, you know, it would be an ideal solution. Certainly more feasible than using a big, you know, kind of full stage rig. So there you go, folks. Very impressed with the amp tones on the Positive Grid Spark. I can see myself having a lot of fun with this as time goes on, and very pleased that I bought it. And that is the video for today. Hope you found it reasonably entertaining, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday at 5 PM UK time. We drink beer, we talk music, we talk guitars, all manner of good stuff. Fantastic way to kick off the weekend. It's fun, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.